All right. Good afternoon, everyone. What has the world come to where Levi Pabst is making food reviews and posting them on the internet? Well, I went to White Castle today. It's something I've been looking forward to the past several weeks. Finally trying out the delectable mid-American treat. Uh, And so I've got it here with me, as I will show you just in a second. But I must be up front at the beginning of this review and say that my reactions to consuming this food are not my immediate reactions. I made the decision. I apologize for any background noise, by the way. I made the decision to eat some of it while I was there in the store, so that way I could experience it hot off the grill and hot out of the fryer, so I could experience White Castle in its peak form. And then I would come back here to the dorm, eat the rest of it, and then give my review. So what did I order? I ordered 2 of the cheese sliders, 2 of the bacon cheese sliders. I was curious to see what some of the the cool sliders are. I got an order of small fries, a small order of onion rings, and a small chocolate shake. All right, so let's get into it. Now, I must be honest again and say that when I first ate, I started with the oh dear, I don't know which way that goes. I started with the bacon cheese slider. I understand this was a mistake. You always want to start with the original and then move on to the crazier version. So that's the original. So I did start with the bacon one in real life, but for the purposes of proper organization and artistic dignity, I will begin with the original, which I have here on my left. But on my right because it's mirrored. So, to begin, excuse me, it's quite good. It's good, not as hot as it was, I must say. The single pickle in the center adds for a wonderful bit of texture. And the thing, of course, I was most curious about with this, as I'm sure you can imagine, was the onions. White Castle is renowned for grilling their burgers on a grill that is just has onions on it. So the burgers are just grilling just soaking in grilled onion the whole time. So how does that affect it? Well, for the original cheese slider, I must say, it's really nice. It has a great, like the onion, the essence of onion just hits you straight away in a very pleasant way. The bun tastes nice. The burger, of course, the burger patty is renowned for being as thin as it is, but I don't think that takes anything away from the experience. All in all, it's really nice, and yeah, I'm not surprised that there are people who eat them by the dozen. Now, onto the bacon slider, which I'm afraid to say is a bit of a disappointment. Contrasting to the original cheese slider, the bacon cheese slider, A, there's no pickle on it, which is always a disappointment because pickles make everything better. B, the onion moves way to the background. It's much more subtle. It's hints of onion. It's like if LaCroix made an onion flavored sparkling water. It's just there and then it's gone, just like an angel's kiss, to use the words of JonTron. And C, I'm afraid to say, the bacon isn't that good. It has some weird notes to it. I would almost go so far as to say that it's a little bit more like turkey bacon or chicken bacon. Now, obviously, I don't know if that's true. That's just conjecture. But it's not the greatest bacon I've ever experienced in all my days. I must say. Obviously, the bun, cheese, and patty all remain the same, so those are all fine. Yeah, it's just interesting. I'm curious to see if other people have that same experience at their local White Castles. Um, Now the fries here. This is not how the fries are normally packaged. I used one of my boxes to contain them, so that way the fries wouldn't jiggle about. Maybe they would maintain some of their warmth. The problem is, I'm not sure which way I had it set. Oh yes, I'm correct. These fries, they're a bit colder now, so I imagine the taste and texture will be a bit compromised. I'm correct, but when they were straight out of the fryer, they were fantastic. These fries were excellent, I must say. They were perfectly crisp, taste great, not overbearingly fatty or greasy or anything like that. I often find nugget fries to be some of my least favorite fries, but these ones are stellar, I must say. Very nice. Could use a touch more salt, maybe just a tiny bit. Now, moving on to the onion rings. Now, onion rings are very contentious for me. I have problems with lots of different varieties of onion rings. My biggest qualm normally is that the batter is too sweet. I despise onion rings that have a really sweet batter. Now, these ones, this one's a little bit of a double one. That would be okay. These ones are nice. These ones are good. The batter's a little bit sweet. I prefer them just like we don't need any sweet batter. Just give me onions that are fried. So these ones are a tiny bit sweet, but they're not. That doesn't turn them into bad onion rings, because it's a very subtle sweetness. Once again, when these were straight out of the fryer and hot and much more crispy, they were excellent. They're also not too greasy, which is very nice. The only comment I would make is that the fried to onion ratio is a bit off. I'd prefer a little bit more onion relative to the amount of fry. But that's a difficult balance to achieve. I understand that. So I can't knock too many points off for that. But they're quite nice. They're very tasty. Now, finally we come to the chocolate shake. And guys, I gotta say, A+ for the chocolate shake. This is as good a chocolate shake as you could ask for from a fast food restaurant. It's a wonderful balance of chocolate, milk, and shake. When it was first given to me, obviously it's melted down a little bit, it's a little more liquefied. When it was first given to me, it was a phenomenal texture that, like, difficult to suck through the straw, but not so difficult that you can't get any at all. So it's a very rewarding oral process, you could say. Yeah, delicious. Because some milkshakes are weird and, like, sometimes powdery, I almost want to say. Like the chocolate didn't mix in well enough. But this was stellar. Fantastic. And this is a small size they have available. And it's like the size of my fucking head. So, like, there's no, like, unless you're feeding a family of 4, there is no reason to get any size beyond that. That is the perfect amount of milkshake for one human or even 2 humans to ingest. So that was wonderful. Other comments I must say about this establishment in particular. The atmosphere was excellent. The interior design was quite nice. There were photographic murals featuring White Castles of old and old-timey fast food cooks with their, like, paper hats and happy young children eating sliders. So that was very nice. And the workers, they were a little understaffed. Evidently, I could only identify 4 workers in total. But it was a jovial, cozy atmosphere as far as fast food restaurants go. Everyone was happy and smiling. despite, there was lots of work to be done, but nobody was like stressed or yelling or anything, which is often the case in fast food restaurants. It was reasonably clean, as far as you could expect for a fast food burger joint at during the lunch rush. Um, and it was a very pleasant experience, I must say. This isn't an indictment of the restaurant by any means, but as I was leaving, there was a family of four uh, white people in their 50s or 60s, like driving out, and they were just tossing these little slider containment units. They were just tossing them out the windows with reckless abandon. It was very humorous. But once again, that's not an indictment. That's just an anecdote from my experience. But yeah, all in all, White Castle in downtown Nashville, a wonderful experience. You should try it out. It's a hidden gem.